We are live, and today is Monday, March the 10th. It is 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. West Coast is the best coast and all of that. And just in case you are coming to this later on, now you know that this is a replay. And if I can log myself in here, that would be good too. Hey, Jason, Jamie, how are you? Hey, Dave. Doesn't want to let me on. Hello, hello. Hey, Barbara. Nice to see you. Hey, Tim, right? I always forget your name. I'm sorry, Mobang. Hey, Bethany. Hope Washington is treating you well. Brittany, how's it going? I'm trying to log on here onto my iPad so I can actually watch and read the chat as well. It's not letting me on though. Oh, I got it right. Okay, good, Tim. Hey, Robin. Mike, how's it going, man? Hey, Maria. Why will it not let me on? I have my iPad set up here, but for some reason I can't log on to my own video. I'm doing okay, Leslie, thanks. Hey, Jefferson. Lee, how's it going, man? You don't like live streams. What are you doing here? Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Tim. I could definitely use the coffee fund, so I appreciate that. Oh, thanks, Mike. I like the new van too. It's been really good. Hey, Steve, how's it going? Oh, hello from Eugene. Hey, Joy. Is it a happy Monday for everybody? I guess it's a happy Monday for you, Joy. Today, I've been running all day today, so I'm tired. Age 3 generations. Oh, you're happy because you're done with work. Okay, that makes sense, Joy. Not sure why there's questions about the old van. I'm in a new van. Let's talk about the new van. The old van's gone. I sold that, said that in the first video that I showed this van, but I guess nobody actually watched that video, so nobody knew that I sold it and it was gone by the time you saw this van, which is what I said in that video, but unfortunately nobody knew that because nobody watched. It's just kind of aggravating. I keep getting questions, but yeah, it's gone, long gone. I have a whole video, well, I have, I think 4 or 5 videos on why I got rid of the old van. So, I mean, yeah. I don't have a link for that kettle. It was just a kettle I bought on Amazon, and I do not recommend it at all. If you need a kettle that is a low wattage kettle, and you want one that's small like that, then I guess you could buy it, but I would stay away from it. It wasn't, the same kettle was sold under several different brand names, the same exact kettle. So if you get one that is, I think it's 1 point, no, what is it? 600, now I forget. I'd have to go back and watch the video again because I don't remember the dimensions of it. But it was a 600 watt kettle. And I think all the 600 watt kettles were the same. They're all the same. They're made from the same company. Looking on that kettle, there's no name on it at all. Nothing. And it's pretty cheap. It's pretty awful. So I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know what I just did. I did something. Hey Scott, how's it going? Leslie, I probably would not drink coffee if it was dark roast. I don't like dark roast coffee, so it has no appeal to me at all. Yes, Wayne, I use an iPhone. That's the only camera that I own. Well, I do have an iPad that has a camera, but I'm not walking around with that. Yeah, hope to be back up north at some point. I don't know when, but I hope to be back up north at some point. I wish I could get this going. I'm gonna be missing all kinds of questions here. Hey, Sonia. It's probably pretty rainy up there right now, I'm guessing. I think I am growing the beard out, aren't I? I haven't trimmed it in over a month. Hey, from Santa Rosa. It's a good place. My grandmother's doing good. She's got lots more energy than I do, believe it or not. I have a hard time keeping up with her. Yeah, Tim, I've got quite a bit of progress on the van. We'll see it next Monday. So I've been busy. Busy with Grandma, busy just doing everything. Hey, Senor, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Relevant. I'm probably going to remove the headliner sooner than later, but it's such a big job, I just haven't wanted to get into it yet. It's going to be messy. And there's a bunch of wires that I can't figure out what they go to, so I'm not really looking forward to dealing with all that. But eventually, I will. I do know where Yuba City is. Hello. Oh, the heat finally broke. It's a little warm today, Leslie, but not bad today. Hey, Pam, how are you? You're drinking coffee, Pam? I'm drinking water, unfortunately. It's a little too warm for me today. Hey, Dimitri, how's it going, man? Gio, how you doing? Yeah, I need a haircut, Gio. Cheryl, I'm in Los Angeles. So yes, California. I spend most of the year in California, you know. Yeah, Joseph, you too. You're getting after the hair too there, Joseph. I know, I need a haircut. I normally don't like to cut my hair in a city environment, and I'm in a city. I mean, Los Angeles is a city. There's not really a place to do it where I can't get away from people, and I can just do it where there's nobody around that is going to watch me and be kind of weirded out by wondering what I'm going to be, wondering what I'm doing. So I've been putting it off. Hey, thanks. I'm having trouble reading here. I need new contact lenses, I think. Thank you, Phone Widow. I appreciate that. Yeah, Jeremy, I do. We'll talk a little bit more about that next week on Monday. Got a bunch of, it'll be a big video on Monday next week because I got a bunch of things I want to talk about. There's all kinds of weirdness going on with the van build. Just so that you know, so today I'm doing a live stream, so there's not going to be a regular vlog today, obviously. If you are a channel member, do make sure that you check my posts because there is a small video update for channel members. So on Patreon, check my posts there. There will be a link to it. I just put it up earlier today. And if you're a YouTube channel member, it'll be in the what is that called? Post section. Hey, why me? Halifax. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't have to worry anymore either. Oh, hey, Linda. Did you feel the earthquake? Which one? I never feel them unless they're going to be, if they're close to a 7, I might feel it, but no, I always sleep through them. I've slept through 6s, quite a number of 6.0s. I do explain everything in the videos, don't I, Bobby? But there's no reason to be upset about it. Hey, Karen, how are you? Oh, Rogue Wave, thanks so much. I appreciate that. You have a minivan too, all right. See, minivans are the best, right? They are the best. We just need to convince everybody else of that. Everybody always says, well, don't you want to stand up? I think I'm standing up like 7-8 hours a day when I'm outside walking around. Why do I need to stand up inside my van? But, these are the little questions we always get. Oh, it was a 3.4. Yeah, I wouldn't have felt that. No, Bobby, I don't want any pets. Hey, Fun Mike, how's it going? Minivans do have plenty of space, that's true. Forever One. Hey, Angela. How are you? Tony, how's it going? I don't have any problem altering my van whatsoever, whether it's paid off or not. I don't think it makes any difference. My first van, I think I've told this story a couple of times. I actually cut the hole for the vent fan before I actually owned the van. There was a little snafu with the paperwork, and so I already cut the hole and put the vent in, and then the dealership called me and said, you have to come back in because financing fell through for you. And I thought, how's this going to go? So yeah, I don't have any problems with messing with anything at all. Hey, Madison Ray. You want to help with the build, Karen? Yeah, I'm getting, I would like your help. Don't get me wrong. I am getting tired of doing work on the van. It's no secret I don't like working on my stuff. I would rather be out taking a walk. So I am getting tired. So if you want to help, yeah, come on over. I'll give you my address in LA here. That's a very good question, Holly. What is for dinner? I'm not sure. I'm going to go to the store later and try to get something. I haven't been keeping a lot of food on hand just because I haven't had power and stuff. So I don't know. We'll figure it out when I get to the store later. You need help with your van, Moonchild? Yeah, me too. Instant coffee is very easy, yes, Bobby. I'm not going to agree with you on the other part, though. No offense. But if you like it, that's great. What would I do if somebody messed up cutting the hole? It's me. I'm cutting the hole, so I would have to get after myself. Yeah, I cut the holes from the outside. I have a little step ladder, so I just you can see them from the videos where I have them placed. There was just enough room to reach over to cut the holes for them. Oh, that is exciting, Wayne. I don't really know you, so I'm not sure I can give you any real advice other than to don't be nervous about anything. Just enjoy it, because it'll all be good. It'll all work out, and I think you're going to like it. Oh, you have a reason to get to San Diego, I guess, Karen. Although, you know what I'm going to say here is, don't go to San Diego. But I guess you need to go, don't you? Because of your tools. But that's awesome. Yeah, there is a lot of traffic around here. Luckily, the area that I've been hanging out in, near where my grandmother lives, there's not a whole lot of traffic. It hasn't changed a whole lot in the years. Now, if I do have to get on the freeway for some reason, there's a lot of traffic. And there are some neighborhoods, because I've been going to one Home Depot to another and trying to get parts. You know how that goes when you need something. The one Home Depot you go to is always out of whatever you need. Even though I check first, I go online, check stock online, and it doesn't always work. But oh well, that's just the way it goes. Hey, Shonda. You can build just about anything with a jigsaw and a drill, that's true. Well, thanks for tuning into the live, Ballerina. Hey, Turtlegram, how are you? Yeah, cutting the holes is not that bad, Turtle. It really isn't. You know, think about it this way. You can cut the hole yourself, or you can pay somebody an extravagant amount of money to do it for you. And then it kind of makes sense to just do it yourself. Joy, I've had mushroom coffees. I've tried them in the past, and I did not like them at all. I don't know why I still have my iPad here, because I can't seem to get logged into my live. They must have changed something on that. I should just turn this off, shouldn't I? Except the thing is, I can't see the chat, so this is not so easy. Let me move some things around here. I don't really do collabs with anybody. I've done them in the past. I've got collabs up in the past that you can see. You know, those videos are still up. Try my other phone here, see if I can get this on so that I can hopefully see the chat a little bit better. Oh, I'm signed in. It just won't let me Just won't let me watch my own live stream. Oh, see, the phone is working. I think my iPad keeps the, oh, actually, there we go. I can actually see the chat. That works, except it's this big, so I can barely see it. Karen, oh, if you just logged in, Karen, I did mention a couple minutes ago that for channel supporters, there is a update video up right now, so you can check the post section. I forget what channel supporter you are, but you can check the post section because I just put up a video earlier today, and you can see all that I have done. And then for everybody else that's not a channel supporter, that doesn't mean sign up to be a channel supporter. It just means next week there will be a more in-depth video for everybody else. Next Monday be a more in-depth video. It was just kind of an overview for channel supporters that I showed the work that I've gotten done so far. I've been hanging out with Grandma more than I've been doing anything else, but I've gotten some work done. So next Monday will be a big video with lots and lots of info. Hey Deb. Hey Michelle, how are you? Hey Milan, how are you? When am I going to drink coffee without caffeine? That's all I've been drinking lately. It's been driving me crazy. Yeah, I already have my contacts on. My eyes are really dry. I guess because it's just so dry here in Southern California that my contacts dry out. They're good for an hour or two in the morning, and then they just get dry, and I've been taking them off and putting my glasses on. But the glasses, you know, they reflect with my studio lighting I have up. You can probably see this one's kind of a little bit too bright. What do I do on hot days to stay cool? So I have a little cooler box I made. It's a swamp cooler, mini swamp cooler that I bought, well, that I made and put together. But the thing I normally do is I just go to a cooler area. So normally I'm near to the coast, where I'm not at the coast right now. You know, LA is pretty big, so I'm on the east side of LA, so I'm nowhere near the coast. So it's pretty hot out here. It would probably be pretty nice over at the coast. I just haven't gone over there because I'm parking at my grandmother's house at night. Did somebody just call me Steve? Oh. I never know. Whenever somebody calls me Steve, I never know if you're joking or not, because everybody calls me Steve, and I always have, but it's never been my name. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up to the chat. If it were a little bigger, I'd be able to read it a little faster. I would like to come back to Canada. I was actually just talking to Crum. Crum, if you don't know Van City Van Life, who you should be subscribed to, by the way, he texted me the other day. Was that 2 days ago? Or was that yesterday? My days are all out of whack. I don't know what day it is. So we chatted quite a bit back and forth, just texting back and forth for quite a while. And yeah, I was telling him I'm hoping to get out there. So that would be the island, obviously. Well, not obviously if you don't know who Chrome is, but Chrome is normally out on Vancouver Island. So I'm hoping to get out to Vancouver Island this year, but who knows? You know, we'll see. I think my passport's still good. I should probably check that. I was thinking that I need to renew it next year, but now I'm wondering if it was last year. Dave, I'll be taking out the headliner at some point, and no, I won't be having any insulation. A little van with a small heater like I have, even the small heater will roast me out if I have insulation in it. Same as my last van. Egg and I used to live in Griffith Park Boulevard. All right. I haven't been down there in years and years. Probably been 20 years at least since I've been out there. You can either call me Static or you can call me Scott. Static is easy because it's right there on my channel. But my name is actually Scott. And don't feel bad. Everybody calls me Steve and has called me Steve for years. Years and years. Oh, you just ordered an AeroPress. All right, Gail. I hope you like it. Good Monday to you too, Sand Dollar. Oh, hey, David. I do need some coffee. I'm missing your coffee, but yeah, I'm not sure when I'll get back. You know what? I've not been too terribly crazy about going back to Seattle anymore. We'll see if I make it to Seattle itself this year, but I do like West Seattle. West Seattle is an awesome place, but to get to West Seattle, I have to drive through Seattle, and Seattle traffic is worse than LA traffic. I've been saying this for years, and now that I'm back in LA, I can again say with certainty that traffic is much better in LA than it is in Seattle. Maybe I know my way around LA better. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. Was I in his live stream on Friday, really? I know I was in one a while back. I didn't see all of that live stream on Friday. I was working. I was working, I guess. I could have been talking with Grandma, but I think I was working on the van. Yeah, I actually thought today was kind of warm, honestly, but you're saying it was cool? Today in LA, I've got my door open because I've been kind of warm out today. Although I've been running around too, and I've got long sleeves on, which probably doesn't help. But I'm looking forward to the cooler weather. Oh, hey, Elijah. You do have a lot of good coffee out there, yeah. JB, visit with Grandma's been good. I'm still visiting. Although I ran out today because I had so much to do today, I left without talking to her. And I got half a mile down the street and she texted me saying, you escaped. Then I felt bad. Oh, you're out on the island too, Mike. Okay. My old van, I took about 6 months to build it out. And this van, I'm not in a real big hurry to build the whole thing out. This will be a long process. I don't think I'll be done this year with it. There's a bunch of things that I want to kind of take my time on. Russell, I have a 2013 Toyota Sienna. If you go back a few videos, I have a video about talking about this van and describing it. It's in pretty good shape. But it is a Toyota, so I guess that goes without saying, right? You're a lumberjack? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I like this van too. Yeah, Mike, I stay mostly on the West Coast. I like the Pacific Ocean, so I try to be as close to it as possible. Hey, Chrissy, how are you? Oh, I'm glad to hear you like your AeroPress, Diego and I. I think somebody dropped a comment earlier today, or yesterday maybe, saying that they weren't so happy with their AeroPress. I don't know. I'm not sure if they watched my video on how to use it properly or not. I didn't say anything, but I should probably give you blocking ability, shouldn't I, Barbara? I'm sorry if I've missed your comment. As before, if it's important to you that you get an answer, just ask it again and hopefully I'll see it the next time through. Yeah, I'm getting more comfortable with the van, Chrissy. I'm still, you know, I should probably take advantage of the fact that I'm at my grandmother's and I could, like, you know, shower at her house and use her toilet and stuff, but I haven't been doing that. I've just been parking in front, and you know, I have my home out in front of her house, so I've just been utilizing my home the same as I have been doing for the last 9 years. So I don't know. It's good. I'm happy with it. I'm comfortable here. It's you know, it's getting better day by day, week by week. It wasn't too easy the first couple of weeks because I didn't have any room to move around. I didn't know where anything was. So the first couple of weeks I wasn't really enjoying the van so much, but every time I had to drive somewhere, you know, I'd start it up and I think, is the engine running? I can't hear it, you know. I can't hear it and I can't feel it shaking. So, you know, I like the van. It's taken me a little bit of time to get the van kind of sorted out. Doing this with my clothes has helped. Putting the clothes in bags and getting them up here has helped quite a bit. Because otherwise, I just don't have any room for me in here. Oh, thank you so much, Pam. It's very nice of you. I have not made corn tortillas from scratch. It is on my list. I think I said I was going to get a tortilla press one of these days, and then I bought the van, and that kind of did that in because I have too many other things to occupy my time on. But I think once I get the kitchen kind of set up and running and I'm comfortable with it, I'll start trying to make some tortillas. You know, the trouble is I'm back in LA now, so there's good tortillas everywhere here, so I don't really have any real need to go and make my own tortillas because I can buy them easily. But I'll get back to that because I'm not normally in a place that has really good, inexpensive, good quality tortillas. I must be missing all kinds of questions and comments because I keep seeing things that other people are responding to other comments. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can. Oh, Cheryl, thank you so much. That's very nice of you. Hey, TD Hawk, how's it going? Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, the new sink is nice. It'll be good when it's finally fully operational, but yeah, it's really good. Uh, Arif, thanks. I actually find living out of a van to be much easier, not difficult at all, but that's just been my experience over 9 years. Well, you know, I've been saying 9 years. Next month will be 9 years, so I'm kind of jumping that a little bit, but it's almost 9 years I've been living out of a van or two. DH, I explained that in the last video. Did you watch the last video through? Because I did explain that. I explained it kind of in the middle, and then I explained it again at the end. So in case anybody wasn't paying attention. So if you want to go back to that video where I showed the sink, I explained it all there. Yeah, tortilla press would take up a lot of room, but I mean, if I'm eating a lot of tortillas, which I generally do, it is room that I would gladly make space for, absolutely. Hey Ray, how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by. The Watcher, I have my 12-volt fridge is a set power. I have a video on it. If you go to my playlist, it's in the important videos playlist. It's an awesome fridge. I think Set Power is a really good brand. If you want an inexpensive fridge that will last a long time, this fridge is a little over 3 years old, and the only thing I did to it was I did break the latch on it. I'm not quite sure how I broke it, but I broke the latch on it. But it doesn't affect the usefulness of it at all. In fact, I kind of like it better without the latch, although I'm sure some people would prefer the latch to be working. But yeah, if you don't want a no-name brand like Set Power, you can look at their other brand. Their sister company is IceCo. Vantoys.com sells IceCo fridges, and the reason that they sell just IceCo is that IceCo probably makes the best fridge, but it's the same company as Set Power. Kim, the vents I put in a very specific area, and I'll talk a little bit more about that on Monday so that I can show why I have them there. But simply put, these fans are really better as a vent, not as a fan. They work great as a vent. As a fan, they're kind of lousy. So it doesn't really matter how close they are because they're just not great as a fan, you know, unfortunately. Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, the van's kind of coming together a little quicker than I had expected it to. Homeless Bum, how's it going, man? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, the Unistrut. You know, I've always wanted to use Unistrut, and since I was starting over in this van, it just seemed like a good thing to start using because of the price of it. I mean, it's a really good deal. What I did find out is different Home Depots stock different pieces for it. So all of them sell the Unistrut, but then some of them will sell like little angles for it and other little attachment pieces for it. At my grandmother's house, she's kind of like right in the middle of a few different Home Depots, and one of them doesn't really carry any little attachment pieces. They just carry the Unistrut, and then the other one has a ton of stuff. So I've had to go back and forth to one or the other just to get stuff that I needed. But yeah, it's great stuff, you know, and galvanized. It should be kind of worry-free for a while. Hey Toby, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Oh, hey Amy, how's it going? We'll have a big video about build news next Monday, Amy. So I'll catch you up then. Yeah, I've got headroom in this van. I'm slouching because I had my setup a little bit differently before, but now that I'm not using that setup, I could be sitting upright, but I'm not because I've just got to work with this setup, don't I? Maybe I can move it around a little bit and make this easier. I'm straining to see here. Thank you, Barbara. You're on top of things, aren't you, Barbara? I don't know what I'd do without you. You have an Opal combo. I'm not quite sure what those are, since they don't sell those here. But I think my old van was bigger than your Opal, if I'm thinking correctly. This van, the Toyota Sienna, is quite a bit bigger than my old van, significantly bigger. I think outside dimensions it's a foot longer, and then of course it's quite a bit wider too. Inside, not quite as much, but I've got another, at least 9 or 10 inches on the inside, more space in this van versus the old one. Hey EJ, thanks for stopping in. Gail, I do new videos every Monday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's why I started this at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time, this live stream, because I just figured keep the same time frame since I'm not doing a regular video. I might try to sneak in another video midweek at some point, but for right now I'm just doing Mondays at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time, just because I've got a lot going on trying to get the van set up. It's not easy living out of a van that's not totally set up. My last van was easy. Life was so easy in that van because everything was, everything had a place. Everything was set up really well. This van, not quite so much. Hey, Raven, you made it. Barbara can use the help, Raven. Stevie, I will be upgrading my solar, and more on that on Monday. Hello, Susan. Do you watch James Hoffman? I think I'm still subscribed to him, but I don't very often watch his videos anymore. Not that I have anything against the guy. He's kind of too into coffee, if there is a thing. I thought I was too into coffee, but I think the Hoff is much more into coffee than I am. Hey Eric, how's it going? Haven't you asked me this before, Eric? No, I don't want to give up van life. Why would I want to do that? That didn't make any sense. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, Gabriel. Gabriel does things. I hope it's going well for you. Eunice, I don't know enough about the hybrids to answer your question. I'm sorry. I did all my research on older vans because that's what I could afford. So I really don't know much about the hybrids. Oh, hey, Marnie. I'm drinking water today, Marnie. Although I do have my Olympia coffee sticker on here. Olympia Coffee is a small roaster in the Seattle and Olympia, Washington areas. Really good stuff. One of my favorites. Oh, I'll be back. I'll be back in the Pacific Northwest at some point, Chrissy. If my grandmother allows me to leave LA. That's the big if, unfortunately. But it's going to get hot here eventually. You never know with March. You know, Southern California in March, at least LA area, you never really know. It could get cold, it could get really hot. So if it gets really hot, I'll get out of here very quickly. Oh, thanks, Jump in the World. I'm happy with how the vans come along. So yeah, thank you. Oh, I don't ever show my surroundings on live streams. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. I've done a couple outside. There was one of them I did in Bellevue, which is kind of like Seattle. That was kind of cool, except people kept walking up and staring at me. It was just a little weird. So I tend not to do live streams outside. Oh, Stephanie, that long shelf, it's called a speed rail. I think they call it a speed rail because bartenders use it to hold liquor bottles, is what it's normally used for. So, you know, it helps speed them up as they're making drinks. Oh yeah, Turtlelight. I always just do the live streams at the same time as the regular videos, just to encourage people to tune in at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Monday. I know I've been saying that a lot. It's just like people keep asking me, when do you put videos up? And I keep saying, well, same day, every day. I only do one video a week, at least, you know, for now anyway. So I kind of just do that so that, you know, it kind of encourages people just to tune in at 4:30 so that they actually see the live stream. Although there are a lot of people that don't like live streams. I very rarely watch live streams. Like, I'll watch Chrome's when he does a live stream, just because, you know, he's my buddy. So I do like to watch him and keep up that way. But yeah, I just don't really watch live streams myself normally. You did catch a live, Tracy Lynn. Awesome. Woohoo indeed. No, I don't have any coffee, Chrissy. It was a little warm. It was over 70 degrees today, and I was running around, so I was just too warm. No relevance. I did not buy an all-wheel drive. A lot of people think I have an all-wheel drive. I'm not really sure why, but yeah, this is just a front-wheel drive, which I prefer. I wouldn't want an all-wheel drive at all. That means you have to buy tires and rotate tires. I don't do that. I buy 2 tires at a time. I do not rotate them because rotating tires is a scam, which I found out years and years later after paying mechanics to rotate them. And then I find out it's a scam unless you have an all-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. Hey, certified campaholic, how's it going? It is good evening, isn't it? Wow. Time flies. Wasn't paying attention. Hello from Sonoma County. How are you? Still drinking decaf at the moment. I did have a cup of regular leaded coffee though the other day. I think I drank half a cup. Was about all I did. Hey, Ninth Element, happy spring forward to you too. Except I don't find it to be a happy thing. I hope that at some point they just end that whole fall back and spring forward thing, but I don't think they're going to. Marcella, this van that I'm in is bigger than my last van, so no, it's not difficult at all. I don't have any storage, so you know that is a slight difference. I don't have a Jackery. I don't recommend Jackeries. I had one at one time. I have an UPEZ power station, but yeah, this van is much bigger than my last van, so no adjustment. Hey, Lady Knight. Well, Eric, I'm hoping to be back in Humboldt at some point. I kind of wish I was there now. Oh, there's another question about the Jackery. You know, I shouldn't say too many bad things about Jackery because, you know, my buddy does sell Jackeries on his website, or whatever, but I don't like them. So I won't have another one. And my eyes are really getting dry now, so I'm really having a hard time seeing. Why would I want a motorhome, Travis? I don't understand. Why would I want a motorhome? A minivan is the perfect vehicle to live out of. I don't know what the Ides of March is, Karen. I'll have to look that up. I'll look it up later. I have enough going on right now, don't I? Not keeping up with the chat at all. Maybe I should just power forward a little bit here. Scanning quickly. I'm missing a lot of stuff. Matthew, I did not take the seat rails out yet. I think I'm going to take my angle grinder to them. So I think it's the easiest way that I can see. I haven't actually looked to see if there's a video to show if there's an easier way, but the one I'm going to leave in, I'm going to leave the ones in on the passenger side because I'm using those as a tie-down points. I have some ratchet straps that I ratchet my bed down to the frame of the van, so it's perfect for me on that side, but I do want to remove the one over on this side, which is the driver's side, because my fridge is on top of it and it makes my fridge not sit correctly, which will be a problem if I don't sort that out. I am doing well. Thanks, John. Oh yeah, I bet it was a big difference in temperature, Marla, if you're used to Ohio. Although, you know, there are parts of LA that are a little cooler, you know, if you get over right near the beach. Although I don't care to park over there personally, but it is cooler over there on that side. I like Crumb's new van. I mean, I wouldn't want one for myself, but I think it's perfect for him. So I'm happy for him. I got to chat with him quite a bit a day or two ago, and Yeah, he's excited about it, you know. I think it's well timed for him to have a van that can actually take him across country or even across town without breaking down on him, which, you know, unfortunately his current van is just not holding up very well. Hello, Squim, Washington, or should I say Squim, Seattle? Oh, thank you, Blind Views. I appreciate that. Thanks so much, buddy. I have been having a hard time keeping up with your videos, Blind Views. I've been so busy working on stuff. So I'm sorry. I have been watching. I haven't been leaving comments on every one, but I think I've missed a couple here and there. I've actually, every night I try to catch up on a few videos that I like to watch, and Blind Views is one of them. It's just a channel I like to watch because I think he's just a cool guy, and he makes good videos. But like I'll start watching and then I fall asleep. So I don't know how, I didn't see anything because I fell asleep, you know, so I sort of watched it, but not really. Oh, Ronnie, yeah, that was a little earthquake. Somebody dropped a comment and asked if I felt it, and I went inside that morning and said to my grandmother, you know, was there an earthquake? And she said, I don't know. And then we started joking around. Her husband was from New York City, and so he felt every earthquake, even if it was a tiny little one. But like, we're so used to it because we're from here that we just don't feel them. So no, I didn't feel it. Neither one of us did. Oh, thank you, Jupiter Hall. I've been slacking on keeping up with you guys, and I apologize. Hopefully you did see that I dropped a video for you. If you haven't seen that, there is a video for channel members, so you can watch that after this if you want, or tomorrow, or whenever. And you can find out all the things that everybody else will find out next Monday. Oh, you stopped by Olympia Coffee Roasters. Awesome. I hope you liked it. They make probably the best latte that, you know, like the most consistent latte. Whenever I go to Washington or Seattle State, it's always my first stop. I just go until I get to Olympia Coffee Roasters and order a latte. You know, it's one of my favorite coffee roasting companies, primarily because Olympia Coffee Roasters taught me to stop drinking dark roast coffee and start drinking light roast coffee. They kind of skew more towards light roast coffee, so they do have dark roast too, if that's what you want. But yeah, their coffee is just amazing. A little expensive though, so I don't buy the beans very often, but I do go in and get just a cup of coffee and a latte. They have a cool machine in there that I think it's called a pour steady machine, where they do a pour over. The machine actually does a little pour over coffee, and it just pours like in a little circle into the little cone. It's a really cool machine. Although I guess some of the locations don't have that machine, but most of them do. Jupiter Hall, I do have, what are the ones for? I missed something big, I think. I do have some ideas on window coverings. My grandmother actually came up with a better one, and she wants to sew me up something. I'm not sure I'm going to let her, but she did come up with a really good idea. We'll talk about that at some other point, because I don't really quite know how to describe it exactly. I did put a yoga mat on the back window, and that didn't go well. That didn't go well at all. I don't recommend that. Well, I shouldn't say that. The yoga mat that I chose was not a good choice of a yoga mat. So that kind of defeated the purpose of what I was doing. So I do need to do something else because the mat that I have up there is just not doing the job. Oh, thank you, Eric. Thanks a lot, man. Have one on me. I'm sure you mean coffee, right? That's kind of like a beer sounding term, but I'm sure you mean coffee. Because you know I don't drink beer. Oh, it's because Barbara asked you to put the one. I got it now. I'm so far behind. Let me, Hey, Michelle, how's it going? Yeah, Ray, I'm still parking out in front of my grandmother's house. I'm hoping she'll let me leave one of these days, but I'm still here. We can not talk about Hollyweird things or Hollywood. You can just leave that be, okay? From here on out. So no Hollywood, no religion, no politics. Those are the rules. And if not, then I'll just ban you. But now you know. Hey Ty, thanks man. I'm loving the new van too, honestly. Oh, Daniel D, thank you so much. the little, what is that? I was going to say moose. That's not a moose. That's a hippopotamus. The brain is slow these days. Very, very slow. My brain, I'm saying. Yeah, I would, Jupiter. I would definitely paint over. I think I'm thinking about that though because I don't want to end up with a maintenance headache. If you paint over on the outside, which I think would be the better way to do it, it's probably going to get scratched, and then I don't want to have to just go and repaint all the time. So I'm not really sure. I do want to talk to a few people that know about that kind of thing before I make any real decisions on that. Yeah, I know, Turtle. She really wants me to. It's not a curtain, actually. It would be like an insulated cover. You've probably seen them for sale. You know, there's a bunch of companies that sell them, and she on her own came up with the design that most of the companies, you know, charge $100 a panel for. It's a really good design. I just, you know, I'm not. Well, I shouldn't say you know. I've fiddled with the back window so many times that I don't want to think about it anymore. It's covered right now, and I just leave the cover on. I never actually take it off, and I just want to leave it, and I don't want to think about it for a while. That's my thing. So I'll probably let her. I don't know. She really wants to sew up something for me. Well, thanks, Lee. I try to talk directly to you when you're watching my videos, so I appreciate you saying that. Oh, you're out and about on today's video. I will watch it later tonight, Blind Views. I always like your out and about videos. Hey, dancing one. Lisa, how's it going? Yeah, I'm doing okay, Lisa, thanks. Yes, of course you meant coffee. Yeah, okay, Eric. I was just saying, you know, that saying does sound more like a imbibing type saying. Because Edwin, this is my channel and I make the rules. So that's why. That's a good enough reason for me, right? I'm being glib there, because I can. You know, I never know where I'm going to sleep at night. I never know what I'm going to have to eat at nights. I never know, you know, about my job. My channel is the one thing that I can kind of control. So there's the rest of the answer there. Hey Otter, how's it going? Nice to see you. Hey Vicky. Ninth Element, my windows are actually tinted from the factory already. They're pretty dark. But I am looking for options to try to keep the heat gain from coming in. Because once the sun hits these windows, it gets hot in here. I had a not very good day the other day, and I tried to sleep in, and I could not. I could not sleep in. I had to get up and get out of bed because it was just too hot in here. And that never happened with the old van. I do need to work on ventilation a little bit more though, because the ventilation isn't quite up to snuff. Now that I've got the vents in the roof, I need to start thinking about other vents to kind of pull the air through. I do open the side windows occasionally, but I don't really like to do that, especially if I'm in a kind of iffy area, because it's kind of like saying, hey, break into my van, you know? So I'm kind of looking back at my old van and looking at a floor vent, although I'm not quite sure where that's going to go. So that'll be this next week's project, is trying to figure out a floor vent idea, or maybe a vent along the wall or in the door of the van somewhere. There's another thing I'm going to look at here. Hey Thomas, how's it going, man? I wish I were in Northern California at the moment, Thomas. No disrespect to family, but I'm getting my fill of LA here. I don't know what Xanax is, but I'm going to take that as a compliment, Lee. I think so too, Barb. We have to set boundaries, so I think it's a good thing. Yeah, you can tint your windows as dark as you want. If the sun is hitting the glass, it's going to heat the glass up. You've got to cover the glass from the outside if you really want it to stay cool. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I've already got a really dark tint on the back windows. The front, driver's door and passenger door don't have a dark tint on them, but the back windows all have a really dark tint. It's hard to see in them. You have to really, come up and really look in, unless it's at night and I've got all my lights on. But all of my lights have broke here recently, so that hasn't been an issue lately. Exactly, Barbara. Same rules every day. When I was a kid, I had to follow the rules that my parents laid down, right? And then I had to follow the rules at school that they made me do. Same here, right? We just keep the same rules. Things don't change. Yeah, Chrissy, I still have that little box. It's a swamp cooler, not an AC, but I just saw a video last week that Ryobi has a little fan. It's a little tiny fan, but it runs off of their little batteries, and it is basically kind of the same thing that I made, where it blows just a little fine mist. You fill it up with water and it blows a little fine mist along with the fan. And if I can see one of those in person and check it out, I might actually switch to it, because it's a lot smaller than my setup. Because that would be nice just to cut down on the size. Most of the time I'm in a cooler area. I just keep that thing for the occasional time I'm actually in a warmer area. So I'd be open to looking at that. I've gone into Home Depot, but the Home Depot here doesn't have it in stock yet. Maybe it's one of those special order item things. You know, it's funny you say that, Ninth Element. Somebody dropped a comment a couple weeks ago saying that I can't have window covers on my windows at all. He said that I'll get pulled over, that he got pulled over a while back in another state. So he was encouraging me to take the covers down when I drive. And I thought, well, I'm just gonna, you know, I've been driving around everywhere with them covered. I haven't gotten pulled over yet. So I think you might be right on that. I don't think they're really pulling anybody over for anything. You know, Eric, after 9 years of driving a cargo van that I couldn't see out the back, I don't have an issue with seeing it. I do need good mirrors. And then, of course, yeah, I do have the backup camera. When I shift into reverse, I've got the backup camera. I had a bunch of work vehicles that were the same way, that we couldn't see out the back. One of them was a big, huge box van. I didn't like driving that one because even with good mirrors, there were just huge amounts of blind spots that you just couldn't see. But in a minivan, you just have good mirrors and you can see it's not an issue. I don't think anyway. But that is after, you know, 9 years of my own vehicle and, you know, 10 or 15 years of company vehicles that I didn't have the option of looking out the back window. So I don't know. Yeah, you know, again, the tinting thing, if you put the tint on the inside of your window and the sun can hit the actual glass, the glass heats up. And it doesn't matter if you've got tons of insulation on that backside of the glass, it will heat through and that heat will radiate through the insulation. So if you really want to cut down on the heat, you've got to cover the glass from the outside. That's just something I've learned over the years. I know nobody agrees with me. Very few people agree with me, but it's the physics of sunlight and glass. Yeah, I am looking, Carefree Highway, I'm looking at that perforated stuff. I'm not sure I want to do that, but I think that would be the ultimate solution, because that would go on the outside. You'd still be able to see through. I don't want to put it on because I'm not handy like that. Oh, I wish I knew what the answer to that is, Lee. I think just a happy life is all that is. When I was working in the restaurant industry, I wasn't quite so mellow, at least not at work. I was mellow at home, but I was not mellow at work at all. It's quite the opposite. Well, I wasn't happy there. The first few years were great, but it was just the end there. I got kind of burnt out. Violet, how are you? I hope you're enjoying your lunch break, Maria. Oh yeah, so yeah, Karen, the vinyl on the outside I think is a good idea. Although I think the perforated stuff is a better idea. Although, you know, just regular vinyl would be cooler because you wouldn't have any sun gain coming through the little pinholes and heating up the glass, because that is what's going to happen. I've been roasting here. It's a very new experience to me because my old van would stay cool all day long, even if it was hot outside. There were some days where I'd get up and put a jacket on, I'd jump outside and realize, oh, it's 80 degrees out here. I had no idea. It was actually chilly in the van, but this van's a whole different ball game, being that there's windows all the way around. Although the moving blankets are working to keep the heat from coming from the front, so I do get a little insulation that way. But it gets super hot up there, crazy hot up there. Oh, you have a Ryobi fan too, okay. I want the one that has the little misting thing built in though. They made a bigger one. I don't think they're still making that one. It was supposed to sit on a 5-gallon bucket. I don't have room for that. That's huge, but yeah, I would like to see that new one. There are no stupid questions, Ronnie, but now let me read it first, because that's the only part I read yet. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a stupid question at all. You certainly could replace it with metal. I've seen it occasionally, and it's usually because somebody can't afford to get it fixed correctly, so they just fix it with metal or usually plywood. I've seen a lot of plywood over the years. So, I mean, yeah, you could do it quite easily. You do lose, you lose the benefit of having the glass, but it is a cheap way to go. You just need a skill saw or a jigsaw or something and a little bit of time. That's not a dumb question at all. Latoya, I'm mostly in cities, although these days I'm mostly in smaller cities. If you go back and look through my videos from last year, I did spend some time out in the Olympic National Forest up in Seattle State area. That was pretty awesome because there's a lot of free camping up there. I did pay for camping one night at a really cool campground up there. That was a really nice little time I had. But yeah, mostly smaller cities these days. Yeah, Adventure Van Man's a great channel. He's a nice guy too. I got to meet him a few years back. Spent some time with him at the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous. Oh, do you still have your ProMaster, Chris M? I hope it's treating you better than mine did to me. But thank you, yeah. Oh yeah, I agree with you, Certified Campaholic. I mean, as long as you can see your mirrors, it's like, what more do you need? Yeah, I agree, Mike. I think if you leave everything open, I mean, they want to be able to see the driver. I don't think, I think they still will pull you over if you've got your side windows really darkly tinted. If they can't see in, they don't like that. Hey, Carolyn. We're just chatting. You know how my live streams are. You didn't miss anything. It's just us sitting around chatting about nothingness. No, there's no coffee today, though. I guess that's something that maybe you missed that would be expected. That's true. Truck drivers don't have a back window, and truck drivers get to park wherever they want to park, too. Yeah, Mike Roberts, I mean, if you're in a cooler area, that can work. I'm in a warmer area right now, but I don't plan on being here in the summertime. Hey, Emmons Travels, how's it going? Thank you. I like your enthusiasm, Barbara. Woohoo, 408. It's good enthusiasm, I like it. Oh, did you all assume it was all-wheel drive, Linda? I actually, a few videos back, I talked about a van, looking at different vehicles. And, I talked about how I looked at full-size vans, trucks, both full-size and mid-size trucks. And one of the things I said in that video was, I will not buy a four-wheel drive vehicle. So I guess I kind of assumed everybody watched that video, but, obviously nobody really did. So I should have stated that again. Dee Dee, I was a prep cook in the restaurant. It was a small place, so everybody did everything. I mean, you would prep cook, you'd clean the toilet, you would take orders. Everybody kind of did everything. We washed our hands in between those things, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, Chrissy, I mean, I'm actually, I would not have come back to LA if I didn't have a little bit of faith in this van. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool to now have a van that can take me to places, although I still plan on keeping my mileage down. Gas is expensive. Actually, I forgot to buy gas today. That was on the list of things to do. But it's like $4.50 a gallon right now. Crazy. Just crazy. The fro, is this a fro? It's just a lot of hair. I need to cut it. Hey CBA, how's it going? Hey Elf Lords, I don't know about that, but maybe, I don't know. Yeah, that film, if I was going to put a film on, I don't know if I really want to go with black because it would just be a heat sink, right? The sun would just bake hotter in it. Wouldn't it? I think. I don't know. That's my thinking anyway. Oh, that's right. You have a Sienna too, don't you, Lisa? It's just all that glass, Eric, I have a video in my playlist. It's in the playlist called The Important Videos. And there's a video that talks about what I do for work and what I did for work and why I almost never talk about work. I spell that out in that video. So that'll give you an idea of why I don't want to talk about work. Well, I'm way behind. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. Van life is absolutely possible in Southern California. I've lived my first year and a half of van life I spent in Southern California, and I was in the desert where it was super hot. I'd work all day outside, and then I'd come home to my stinking hot van and try to sleep at night. So if you are going to do Southern California, I would suggest being as close to the Pacific Ocean as possible, or up in one of the mountains where it would be cooler, much cooler. Violet, I do not agree with San Diego being good for van life. I do not agree with that at all. They are very militantly against anybody sleeping in their vehicle. So I don't suggest going to San Diego at all. In fact, I don't even suggest people going there for vacation. I say just stay away from it. Oh, you have perforated vinyl on your van, Spirit of a Lady. Cool. That's awesome. You don't see that very often, but it's awesome. Hey, Olga. Thanks for stopping in. Ninth element, good ventilation. And if you mess up and burn something, just light up some incense and that'll get rid of any odor. But you really need really, really good ventilation. So like right now, for me to have really good ventilation, I have to open my door. So it's not ideal. Oh, thank you so much. I can't read your name, Ara something. Thanks for being you too, I appreciate that. It's very nice of you. Oh, Marianne, I don't want to know how much gas is in Albuquerque. Why would you do that to me? I'm in LA. Actually, you know, when I'm in Washington, I always have the expectation to get better gas prices, but they're the same as they are here. They're almost exactly the same. They might be, 5 cents different, but so, I'm either in California or Washington normally, and it's like the gas prices are the same there as they are here. Chrissy, my grandmother's all for it. She was one of the only ones in the very beginning that didn't have an issue with me living out of my van. And she's really happy for me now. I'm able to travel around. I'm able to get out of hot weather, although I've been in some hot weather here, but, grandma's here. But yeah, she's totally for it. Well, you're welcome. I'm glad I'm bringing you some calm. I appreciate that. And we'll be back to regular videos next Monday. I'll try to keep the next Monday's video calm too. I haven't recorded it yet, but there's going to be a lot to it. It'll be an hour long at least if I don't cut it down a little bit. Joyfulable, I sold the other van. I sold the other van before I let everybody know I bought this van. I have a video saying that. If you go back and look at the video that I bought this van, I talk about that old van will be gone. And it's long gone now. Hopefully it's been in the crusher. Hey Van Hauser, how's it going? Hey, Paula. Carefree Highway, I like being conspicuous. I am, who's doing politics, so I can kick you out. Let's say it again so I can ban you forever. I don't know. I don't see it. I am anti-stealth. That is what I am. I'm anti-stealth. I'm totally against being stealth. And so I like my van to look like there's somebody sleeping in it. There's somebody living out of it. That's my whole goal. Wherever I am, I don't care. Now, it does get me into trouble when I'm in San Diego because San Diego didn't like that. So I just solved that problem by never going back to San Diego. See, that works for me. There's much better places in San Diego. There's better places with nicer people than San Diego. So that's why I tell people, don't go to San Diego. Go someplace good. Go someplace nice. That's going to make all kinds of people upset, and they're going to be really mad at me, aren't they? And I don't really care, because I spent almost a year and a half in San Diego, and it was great. I really liked it. Life was easy for me there, but you know, the time I was noticing that things are changing, and I was seeing that probably not going to be able to stay here for very much longer, and so I enjoyed the heck out of it while I was there, knowing that it was a limited time thing. And now I've found Northern California is just so much better all the way around. Just every aspect of it. Northern California is just so much better that I don't have any desire to drive all the way down south to San Diego anymore. I will probably drive through Oregon, Chrissy, at some point. But I don't know if I'll be stopping there anytime soon. Why are we voting for coffee? I would like a cup of coffee, but it's a little too warm right now. As soon as the sun goes down, it gets really nice here. So I just drink my coffee early in the morning or later in the evening, which doesn't affect me at all. Especially now, I don't, there's no possible way it can affect me because I'm still drinking decaf. I find so that I am all about being anti-stealth, T2, because I find that police are more open to it if they know that you're a person that is living in your vehicle. If you're trying to be stealthy, then you end up looking kind of sketchy, and that's what draws their attention. It's not that you're sleeping in your vehicle that they have a problem with, it's that you're looking sketchy. And if you're trying to be stealthy, you're sketch. And so that's why people call, and that's why cops come and want to find out what's going on. If you show that you're just living out of your vehicle, like I leave my door open as much as possible so they can see right in. They can see that I've got a fridge and a stove and a bed. Then they never stop and talk to me, ever, because they see what's going on. They don't have any reason to stop and talk to me. So that is one of the reasons that I am anti-stealth, and that I encourage everybody else to be anti-stealth as well. Yeah, Manny, I've talked at length about standing up in a van. I have no need for it because I'm standing up all day long. My days I plan on walking as much as possible. I haven't been able to do much hiking lately, but I still walk a lot. So that's what I want to do. I want to be walking outside. I don't want to be inside my van. So having a small van means if I'm not feeling so good that day, I'm still going to want to get out and walk. In fact, it'll give me a little more nudge to get out and walk if I can't stand up in my van. So having a small van is actually much better because sometimes it's the boot that I need to get out and walk, and then I feel better, always. So yeah, I don't want to stand up inside my van. I'm standing up outside where I want to be. I want to be in sunshine. So usually when I'm parked somewhere, if I have to be in the van, I'll have my doors open so at least I can have the sunshine if I'm not walking, because I want sun and I want to be walking, which, standing up, in other words, right? All right, Tamara, anti-stealth too. Way to go. I like it. I might stop in at Santa Cruz, Deborah. I have friends there, so I might stop in. I don't know yet. I have to it'll probably come down to if I'm in a hurry to get back to Northern California or not. We'll see how it goes. It's probably more of a weather thing at this point. Oh, awesome, Melinda. I'm glad glad I was helpful on your trip, and I'm glad you had a great trip. Oregon is beautiful. Yeah, Spike, I need a haircut already. I'm just barely touching here, but yeah, I need a haircut. My favorite meal to cook. You know, that's a hard one. I've been eating a lot of chili lately just because it's one, very cheap, two, very filling, and three, very easy to make. So I've been doing a lot of chili lately. I think I made one in a recent vlog. Was that the last vlog or two vlogs back? I don't remember exactly, but they kind of all blend together at this point. But maybe tacos would be higher up on the list than chili. Pizza's right up there too. I think it's just really what I'm in the mood for. DNA, interactive DNA, I'm doing good, thanks. The van's doing good. I'm enjoying it. I agree, James. Walking is the best thing for us. But sometimes we need a little push to just get out and walk a little bit. No, my grandmother's not as much into walking as I am. So we've been sitting outside. She likes to be in the sun, so I'll sit outside and we'll drink coffee and sit outside. My grandmother drinks more coffee than I do, by the way. I know you don't believe me, but it's true. Oh, thanks, Karen. Yeah, I hope to be back in Santa Rosa at some point. I'll probably stop for a day or two on my way north, I imagine, because it's kind of, it almost feels like my new second home now. I spend so much time there. Although I like the whole area. I like Petaluma too. I like Windsor, and what's the other one? Healdsburg. I love Healdsburg too. I actually didn't get to Healdsburg this year. Don't know why that is. Hey, Shelby. CEB, yeah, I'm in Los Angeles right now. Los Angeles, Los Angeles, whatever it is. Northern California is a van lover's, van lifer's dream. You will not regret spending time in Northern California if you live in a van. Absolutely. Is that my current favorite coffee bean, Zaxxon? That's a long list. I'm drinking right now. I'm almost out, but I'm drinking right now because it's decaf, Flying Goat. And this one's really good. My second favorite decaf, right behind what is the name? What is the name? I used to have a sticker up that would remind me in the old van, and now I don't anymore. Well, you'll have to look at my last video to find out the answer to that. Someone will write it in the chat somewhere, I think. Hopefully. Okay, let's see. Is there anything I've missed? There's a lot that I've missed, isn't there? Oh, hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Sanabria, right? No? I'm having such a hard time seeing at the moment, but thank you all the way from Puerto Rico. I appreciate that. T2, that is illegal. That's federally illegal for cops to do that. So yeah, if you're living in your van, you shouldn't be worried about living in your van, because federally it is okay to do so. Federally it's illegal for anybody to tell us that we can't do it. So if anybody tells you that you can't, you can sue them, and they don't really want to get sued because they know that they're going to lose. That's the reason that San Diego has stopped ticketing at the moment, because they're trying to find a workaround to start ticketing again. So San Diego will start ticketing at some point very soon, but they're having their lawyers try to figure out a workaround so that they can come up with a different way to ticket everybody that is sleeping in their vehicle. Because that's what they do. They've done it for 30 some years that I know of, probably even longer than that. Yeah, Spike, if you don't have really, really good ventilation, you will need, you will need to cook outside of your van. But here's the thing. You need good ventilation to keep breathing and to be alive if you're going to run a stove inside. So you need good ventilation for several reasons. But yeah, if you've got really good ventilation, you're not going to have cooking odors build up. It's just not an issue. Fogline is my favorite coffee roaster, and they have my favorite decaf. Why could I not remember that before? It's been a very tough week. Oh, enchiladas. I totally forgot about enchiladas, Violet. You're totally right. That is definitely, or it should be on my favorite list of things to cook. I don't know why I forget about that. You know, a lot of times I'm in places that I can't get good corn tortillas, and so then I can't make different things. Enchiladas would be one of those, just because, if I can't get good corn tortillas, I'm not going to make them. That's why I want to start making my own corn tortillas, because it would solve that problem. Blaze the Creative, I wouldn't put those in any order. I think, they would be different according to the mood that I'm in. I think French press and AeroPress are almost identical in the kind of coffee that they produce. So those would be kind of the same thing, in my opinion. There are some days I kind of prefer pour over coffee, and I still have my V60 pour over, and I still will use it occasionally. It's just not something that I use very often. I actually have an espresso maker as well, but that's something I don't really care for all that often. So I think it's just whatever you're in the mood for. I think there's some days where you just want something a little bit lighter and that has a lot more flavor to it, and I think a pour over is the best thing to pick for a coffee of that style. If you want lots of flavor, layers of flavor, and a well-balanced cup, then the AeroPress or a properly done French press. Although most people don't use a French press properly, and then it doesn't really taste any better. Dave, I do have a roof vent. If you go back and look, I think I talked about it in the last video and then the video before that. Actually, maybe the last 3 videos. Oh yeah, Deborah, Mendocino is like one of my absolute happy places. Oh, see, I'm just catching up. Everybody's writing Fogline to remind. See, everybody knows my favorite. I don't have to say it, do I? Mendocino is one of my absolute happy places. I just am so happy to be there all the time. I actually spent some time there not too long ago on my way to Santa Rosa. Before I got to Santa Rosa, I stayed in both Mendocino and Fort Bragg. Fort Bragg's fantastic too. I mean, it's just a great area. People are just so incredible there. One of the best laundromats too I've ever had is in Fort Bragg, and I don't remember the name of it, but it's not the one closest to the harbor. It's the one more downtown and right near the health food store. One of the best laundromats in the country there. Incredible place. Oh, you tried Fogline, you like Muddy Waters better, huh? See, the thing is, Muddy Waters is not light roast. They call it light roast, but it is not light roast. So that means you probably like darker roast coffee. Is that right, Lisa? That's what I'm getting here. Yeah, you know, Lisa, if you can get to the Arcata Farmers Market on Saturday, they always have a booth set up there. Fogline always has a booth set up there. And I think he always has 3 different coffees to try, to sample. So you can sample a few, because his coffees change all the time. They're never the same. So you might find, you know, that the one that you tried just wasn't your favorite. I've had a couple of coffees from Fogline that weren't my favorite. Like I appreciated how good of quality that they were, but they just weren't my style of coffee. So I just enjoyed the bag, you know, and then I remember next time, don't get that one. But he always has new stuff all the time, so there's always some really good stuff to try. At the farmer's market there, I think he always sells a lot of cold brew coffee more than anything else, because whenever I'm there, there's always a constant stream of people coming up to buy cold brew coffee. So if you like cold brew, apparently it's quite good. I'm just not a fan of cold brew, so I don't know whether it's good or not, because I don't like any cold brew. Yes. The name, I didn't know that, sir. I can sit straight up, but not everywhere in the van, but here in the center area, like if I'm prepping at my countertop, I can sit straight up. I can sit straight up here, but I set up my little camera setup here a little differently today, because I was trying to use my iPad and then that didn't work out. So that's why I'm slouched over here, but normally I can sit straight up. When will my van be finished? I have no idea exactly, but next Monday I'll show you what I have done so far. I've got a lot done. It'll be a big video on Monday. But I'm in no hurry to actually really finish this van. I'm kind of in a hurry to stop working on the van and just start getting back to living. It's hard juggling making videos and working on the van and talking with my grandmother, because I'm here with family. So it's a little too much for me all at once, but I'd kind of like a break with the working part on the van, because that seems like it's the least important of the 3 things. Safeway has good corn tortillas. I have not found any decent corn tortillas in Safeway at all, but then again, I almost never go into Safeway. It's not my favorite store. Oh, were you asking about beans for chili? Was that? And then I'm always thinking about coffee. Yeah, Anasazi beans are my favorite. Can't find them very often, and when I do lately, they're like $7 a pound or even more. So even if I do see them, I very rarely buy them anymore. I've been buying cranberry beans because they should be less than half the price, at least in the bulk bin. Or cattle beans are the other ones that I try to buy. But lately, because I haven't had a kitchen set up, I've been buying canned pinto beans. Not very exciting. I need to get back to buying bulk beans and cooking them up myself. He was saying federal law. Who was saying federal law is more important than state law? Me? Somebody else? I'm too far behind. I need to catch up here. No, the federal law did not change last year. You got to read the law. It did not change at all. The federal law is the same. The reporting was not correct on that, and nobody knows that the reporting was inaccurate because nobody read the law. Go and read the law itself. Yeah, that is not. It's not true, unfortunately. Or fortunately. I don't know why I said unfortunately there. Yeah, the law is still the same. Well, then Lisa, I can't figure you out. So you do like light roast coffee. I have not found a true light roast coffee from Muddy Waters. All of their stuff is just a little bit overdone for me, so I stopped buying them, which I hate to do that because they're a good local brand, being that I'm there so much. I do want to support the local companies, but yeah, I've just found better done stuff just for my taste because I like the super light roast stuff. Interesting. I'll have to look for a lighter roast Muddy Waters when I get back next time because now I'm curious. Yeah, no, I am right, Violet, but you know, that's the trouble with the news. Here I'm going down a topic that I don't really want to talk about, but yeah, the reporting on that was terrible, and it was really bothering me because I was getting all these comments and I was saying to people like, that's not what the law says, and then people were arguing with me and I'm saying did you read the law? No, I just saw the thing on the news. And then I'd say, well, like, read the law. Don't go by what the news is saying. Yeah, you know, if you've had a light roast coffee that tastes vinegary, it's probably because you are brewing it with too cold of water. You need super hot water the lighter the roast goes. So if it tastes vinegary or acidic, basically, it does mean that you probably didn't brew it correctly. So I would try that before writing all light roasts off your list. Flying Goat does have a light roast. Their decaf is probably the lightest roast decaf I've found anywhere, which is why I like it. It also has a really good flavor. They've got, you know, Flying Goat sells light roasts, they sell medium and dark roasts, and I don't care for their dark roast stuff, but I do really like them. I think that they make a really good coffee. One of the things, and this is a subjective thing, but there are some coffees that bother my stomach when I drink them, and I have an ironclad stomach. Like, I can eat almost anything and have, I don't get indigestion ever. Just not something that I've ever dealt with. But like Starbucks always gives me a stomach ache. So, there's some coffees that give me a stomach ache, and so that kind of clues me in. Something's wrong with this coffee here. There's a little more to it. If you search coffee, there's a whole thing about mold in coffee, and that's probably what is going on and why I'm getting the stomach ache. That's what I think anyway. So I tend to, if I drink a coffee that bothers my stomach, I'm not buying that particular brand again, which is why I don't drink Starbucks. I mean, that's, it's dark roast and it bothers my stomach, so not something that I drink. Make it Sandy Waters. I do like my van now. Yeah, Damaris, yeah, it's great. I like the fact that this van is reliable. Have very, very few questions about the reliability. And no, I don't miss the old van at all. The old van, you have to imagine here, I've had 3 years of every morning wondering, is this the day that the engine just packs it in? Is this the day that the transmission falls apart? 3 years of that with the old van. I'm happy to be done with that old van. I'm sorry to say that, because that van was a great van for me. I had 4 or 5 years of that van were just fantastic. That I was hoping that I'd be able to keep that van for 20, 30 years, but as soon as it got to be unreliable, good riddance with it. It is a shame, though, because that was really a great van, at first anyway. Hey, Noreen. Good evening to you. I should do a dedicated coffee making video. Maybe I'll do a special video midweek and do that. Because I have not, you're not going to believe me here, but I have not made a proper cup of coffee in this van. I've not gotten out my scale and weighed out the beans and set my brew time and all that like I normally like to do. So in my mind, I haven't made a real cup of coffee yet. I've made plenty of coffee, but I haven't made a real cup of coffee yet. Yeah, I'm not about the mushroom coffee, thank you. I like coffee. I don't like the other stuff. Yeah, Violet, I think maybe pesticides have something to do with that, but I mean, if that were true, like the conventional apples and peaches and cherries that I buy would bother me, right? And they never do. So that's why I think that there's something to do with the mold issue in coffee. Because I do buy conventional fruit and produce all the time, because I'm not paying exorbitant amounts of money on stuff. Although I do buy, my favorite apples are those Arkansas black apples, and those are almost always organic, heirloom apples. But so those are quite expensive. I do buy some of those, but usually I just I try to mind how much money I'm spending on food, because I do buy a lot of food, believe it or not. Well, you're welcome, Holly. I'm glad you're able to make it. Oh, Raven, you like Dutch Brothers. I'm not so crazy about the Dutch Brothers personally, but have I even tried it? I don't even know if I've tried it. I don't want to try it because it's dark roast, so I know I won't like it. It's kind of like a waste of coffee. Why would I buy a cup of dark roast coffee when I know I'm not going to like it? I could roast my own coffee, but I'm not going to. That is an expensive hobby, very expensive hobby. Why are you laughing about best laundromat, Spirit of a Lady? You know how many terrible laundromats there are? Just awful laundromats everywhere. So when there are good ones, I always make a point in talking about how good the good ones are. Okay, Raven, I get it. I get it. There's light roast. I don't think it's real light roast. I don't think I'm gonna like it though. And the white coffee, I'm not so interested in that. That's a big thing around Tacoma area, and I never quite understood why. But that's a big thing, white coffee. I'd never heard of it before I started working in Tacoma. When I do cooking videos, I do set up a couple cameras occasionally, but it's kind of a difficult thing because I've only got my one decent iPhone, so it's kind of hard to record something else with another camera. I guess, well, my iPad is fairly new, but the camera in it doesn't work so well. Yeah, but you know, the thing about that, JR, is that 9 to 10 years, I guess it's long for vehicles nowadays, but you know, I didn't drive much. The last 3 years I owned that ProMaster City, I did 8,000 miles, 8,000 miles and 6,000 miles all year, you know, for the last 3 years. So, you know, not a lot of miles on that. I did a lot of miles the first 3 years I owned the van, and then it tapered off quite significantly after that, obviously. So, you know, I didn't have a lot of miles on that van. That's why I was kind of hoping that it would last a little bit longer. See, now the white coffee mocha makes more sense to me, but I don't care for mocha. You know this, Raven, that I like to taste coffee, so I don't want to have any flavors in there. So yeah, I don't foresee ever even trying white coffee. I don't know. No, Kelsey, I'm not big on matcha. I've had it in the past, but it's probably been 30 years since I've tried it, and I didn't care for it. See you, Turtle. Hope to see you soon. I'll probably bump into you at some point in the near future. Well, sleep well, Mercedes. Oh, that's not you. I got that one wrong. Oh, your butane caught on fire, Mercedes. That's not good. Wow. You don't hear of that happening very often. I wonder what happened with that. I think the cans once in a while can get a little funny issue. Like my grandmother gave me a 4-pack of cans, and they were the really good quality. They're the Gas One branded can. But one of them had something weird going on with the little stem that the gas flows out of. I had to be really careful with it in the stove because it would leak gas if it was even just in the little slot area. It's very strange. I've had that happen before, but usually with the really cheap cans, not with the good quality cans. Starbucks coffee is always burnt. They do that on purpose. Yeah, Violet, white coffees are really strange. Like it's like a small regional thing. And like I said, I've never been too keen on trying it. There is rain in the forecast, Pia, yeah. I can't wait. It'll make me feel like I'm at home. T2, the transmissions are not bad on any of those, but for some reason people like to say that they're bad. It's the engines that are just absolute garbage. You will have to put a new engine in it, and some of the engines go out at as early as 20 to 30,000 miles. So as long as you're okay with, you know, replacing an engine at 20 to 30,000 miles, then go with a Ram. But I'm not okay with that. So I don't suggest anybody look at Ram vehicles anymore. You know, unfortunately, that's just the state that it's in because Ram doesn't care about quality anymore. That's not me saying anything bad about the company. That's just fact. You know, I'd like to say nicer things about them because that van was such a great van. You know, the first 4 or 5 years of that van were just absolutely incredible. You know, it was just the design of the van was really well done. But unfortunately, you know, that was because it was designed by a Turkish company that designed the van. And then with the engine and transmission, they said, hey, let's just take Jeep stuff and throw it in this van. And that's what let them all down. Where did your wrench go, Barbara? You still have your wrench. I still see it, and I didn't do anything to it. Why would I take your wrench away? I couldn't do this without you, Barbara. I think I'm missing most of the chat, so if you weren't here, I think I'd be in trouble. Hey Alex, nice of you to pop in. Yeah, Chrissy, I don't like any dark roast coffee, and Pete's is, I think Pete's is really the first company to do a real dark roast. And then it influenced everybody else, including Starbucks. Starbucks kind of took that and ran with it. No, I'm not near Temple City, but I am in Los Angeles. Hey, we eat pizza. How's it going? Toronto, huh? It's later then. You're staying up late. Thanks for tuning in. You start drinking decaf, Carolyn, just because I put it on your radar. I'm glad you like the taste of it. I've had a hard time finding decaf that I like the taste of. Fogline definitely makes the best decaf for flavor, followed closely by this Flying Goat. Then there was that little company I found in the Olympics that was really super good, but I mean, you have to go there to get that coffee. Where was that? I don't remember the name of the town. There's not much of a town there. It's a town, but it's not really a town. You couldn't do this without Barbara either, Raven. You're doing a good job too. Both of you are saving my behind here. I couldn't do this without either one of you. The roof fence Parker is, Poker Pro is, it's okay. It's a good vent. It's not a great fan, unfortunately, but it is a tiny little thing, so I wasn't expecting a whole lot. It's kind of doing what I was expecting it to, but I was kind of hoping the fan would work a little bit better. You know, Ronnie, if you like Keurig Donut Shop coffee, then that's what you should drink. There is no wrong answer to that. I think Newman's own Keurig coffees are actually pretty decent. I haven't had any in a while, but we used to use that at the restaurant I worked at for a while. So that's how I know of it. I imagine it's still being sold. Mr. Adams, yeah, I hope to get back up to Seattle States this summer. Maybe not summer though, but I have friends in the area, you know, in Seattle, so I hope to get back there so I can see my friends. Does it normally rain this much in LA in March? Yes. It's quite normal this time of year. 365 decaf. Oh, that's Whole Foods, right? I don't shop in Whole Foods very often. I was shopping there quite a bit in Santa Rosa just because it was convenient, but I just don't shop there very often. Oh, well, thanks, Robert Joan. I appreciate you taking the time to comment. And yeah, those Transit Connects are really good. You know, I was looking to buy a Transit Connect and then it just didn't quite work out. So I have this, and this is a good van too. Hey, Dominique, how are you? Joe, I sold the old van. I wanted to donate it, but it was in such poor working condition that I just decided to sell it. Hey Ramiro, how's it going? Hope you're staying cool up there. Or staying warm actually. Because you're still getting cold temperatures up there, aren't you? Oh, that's it, TJ. Quilcene, that's the name of that little town. That was an awesome little place, and it was just a husband and wife team. He does all the roasting, and I think he's kind of the main barista too. And they have a daughter that they had, kind of scurrying around the cafe. It was just a really cool little environment. But Quilcene's just a tiny town. Really good camping in that area though, for the Olympics, if you like the Olympics. I'm laughing at your French delight, Violet, but as long as you like it, that's okay. I'm not going to take any, though. Everybody is being good today, aren't they, Raven? For the most part. I didn't get to ban anybody yet. I usually always have to ban a couple of people. I did threaten it earlier, though, and then I didn't get a chance to. Maybe everybody was afraid that I was actually going to do it. I actually do ban people. I have to ban people, it seems like, almost every day. I don't like doing it, but you got to do what you got to do. No, Mike, I'm not going to hate you for liking dark roast coffee. Everybody needs to drink the coffee that they like. The only thing that I don't like about dark roast coffee is that everybody thinks that dark roast coffee is better. And so there's more dark roast coffee being sold than there is light roast coffee. It should be a 50-50 thing. Or at least, 1/3 light roast, 1/3 medium roast, 1/3 dark roast, so that we all have choices. That's what I wish it was, actually. So we could all buy the coffee that we want to buy. I'm not sure I want my own coffee shop, Penny, but it's a fun hobby, If I had to do it for work, it wouldn't be a hobby anymore, and then I wouldn't enjoy it anymore. You know how that goes. Life Passion, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hey Joseph, Cafe Du Monde. Now that's some dark roast stuff too. Don't they put chicory in that too? I think I've had that in the past, and the chicory wasn't really my favorite. No, I'm not hating. I'm just saying that it just wasn't my favorite. Oh, you know why I say that, right? That Seattle State, because it's happened several times where I've said to people, people have said, "Well, where are you heading?" I'd say, "Oh, I'm going up to Washington," and they say, "Oh, I'm from Virginia." That's happened twice to me. And then other people say, "Oh, really? East Coast? That's a long drive," And I'm like, "No, the Washington State." And then they just look at me blankly, just blank. I say, the Seattle, and then they say, "Oh yeah, Seattle." So now it's just been a long-running joke. Ricky Lee, that's a tough one. I think my favorite Ethiopian coffee bean would be, well, now I can't remember anything anymore. Somebody help me out here. What is my favorite Ethiopian coffee? It is a small company. I can't talk and think at the same time. It's a good thing I'm not chewing gum right now. Somebody will know. Everybody knows all my favorites. I thought I had an old bag of, no. I don't know. We'll have to circle back to that one. I'm sorry. But there are a lot of good Ethiopians out there. Although there are mystical. It's not groundwork. Thank you, Alex. You are all my brain today. Yeah, Groundwork makes a really good Ethiopian, and I think it is my favorite, although that's a hard one to put a pin in, but I think that that one would actually be my favorite. Coffee whips up the brain. I haven't been drinking coffee. I actually didn't make a cup this morning. Well, thanks, Deborah. I'm not sure I would make an excellent barista anymore. There was a time I think I would have been, but I don't think anymore I would do all that well. When somebody orders, like a crazy long, want this and half that and add this and all that, I think I would just tell them to leave. Go to Starbucks or something. And then I'd get fired. Pasadena has a few good roasters. Oh, there's that one big one that everybody really likes and talks up, and I'm not crazy about that one. What is that one called? Oh, thank you, Aaron. Thank you so much. I will do that. Today, in fact, I'll do that. Washington, AC, okay. Above California, right. It's actually above Oregon, though, isn't it? And I'm not sure, Corgi Lane. You might try some of the low acidic coffee if that's an issue with you. They do have some of that. I think they sell it at Whole Foods and some of the other, like I've seen it at Sprouts occasionally. I haven't bought it in a long time. There's one brand called Tiemans, Tiemans, but there are a bunch of other brands now too. Tiemans is the old original, like low acid coffee. You might try that. It's not really my thing, but Christopher, some people tell me I talk about coffee too much. In fact, somebody, was that last month or a month before, they said, I'm unsubscribing because you talk about coffee too much. And I thought, okay, unsubscribe. What do I care? It's always funny when people write that down. I just blocked him, so I didn't have to see any more stupid messages from him. Apparently he's unsubscribed though, so maybe that was unnecessary on my part. There are a lot of clever coffee names out there, aren't there? Oh, Earth coffee is popular too. I never think about them. I have a friend that likes Earth, and every time she mentions them, I always think EARTH, not Earth as in URTH. I haven't been to Earth in probably 20 years at least. And last time I got coffee there, if I recall, it was super dark roasted, so I haven't been really interested in going back. You know what, everybody? This has been really fun, but my phone is about to die. I'm not quite sure how that is, so we better wrap this up. But this was fun. This was nice, and I appreciate everybody that stopped in and said hello, and everybody that was kind and generous. Doing the super chats and all. That was very nice of you. You didn't have to do that. I was just wanted to do a video where we sit down and chat a little bit today. So, yeah, unfortunately, once my phone dies, we'll have to end. So we might as well just end it here now. Thank you to everybody. And as always, we don't do very many live streams. So if you want to catch them, you'll just have to tune in at the proper time, which is, what is it? Monday, every Monday. If I do a live stream, just keep it to the same day as the regular videos. We do Monday, 4:30 Pacific Standard Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and maybe you'll catch a live stream, or maybe you'll just get a regular video. Because again, I don't do live streams very often. But this one was nice. So thank you to everybody. And I hope you have a great week. And I got a big long video for you, normal video for you next week. So we'll get back to normal next week. So thanks everybody. Have a great night.